Welcome to the 1% Club. Good to see you guys. What's up, Mike Collier? Good to see you, man. Got all my friends here. Hey, Sarah Simmons. Good to see you there. What's up, Arm Key and Heather and Clark and Jeff? Jeff Crisali's in the house, man. Good to see you. I'll get to you in a moment. Brian Moses. Oh my gosh, man. It's like Tom Brady's like hanging out today or something, man. I like that. That's like legit, man. So, hey, Julie Fish, good to see you. What's up, Skip Tolly? Miguel. Miguel's in the house. Miguel, you make me proud. I'm gonna be bragging on you today. In fact, while we're waiting for a few more people to jump on, I'm gonna go right to Miguel. He didn't know I was gonna do this. So, Miguel, this is for you. Tell this to your people. Get a ticket and commit to coming to Cabo. Miguel, I'm going to do it in faith. He'd never been and successful at selling homes, but wants to really build that revenue share organization, play the long game. So this year he buys a ticket to Cabo. I'm going. All of a sudden, he brings this rock star producing agent out of nowhere. Then he gets another one, an independent agent. I'm like, how'd you do it? He says, well, it started with me just going. And because I was going, I was thinking about it. And now he's bringing some superstars, two like really good agents to Cabo because he was going. Miguel, unmute yourself. Did I get that right? I mean, how do you've really got some great prospects coming to Cabo.
Yeah.
Like all of you would be thrilled. How did you do it, Miguel?
Yeah, I decided I was gonna go, got my ticket, and then once I got my ticket, then I heard your message, hey, don't come by yourself. And so that's where I just, started calling people, started inviting people. Especially the last couple calls, you're like, hey, you got like 60 days left, you got 45 days left, invite people. And so I just started inviting people and gave me the courage to talk to some of those people. I had a lot of people tell me no and that they can, and every excuse in the book, but I was looking for the people that said yes, and I threw it out there, and they said yes, and they're coming.
You guys said it was just you. He heard every excuse in the book. One of the guys he's bringing, let's not name names because people sometimes know people, right?
Yeah.
But owns an independent brokerage. The guy's a full on freaking stud. He played college sports and he is just, he's like Mike Collier. The guy's a stud. And then if you know Mike's a stud. And then the other one it does some serious business, right? I
Yeah.
mean, in sales,
Yeah.
like about how much
He
roughly?
does over 100 transactions. He has like 14 or 15 agents, and it's a husband and wife team. And
Yeah.
I gave him the invite, and I said, "Hey, I'd love for you to be my guest."
And by
And
the way, don't say what state or whatever. This guy rattles off a bunch of EXP agents he knows that are pretty popular. He goes, no one really even talked to me about it in detail. I really didn't understand it. And he's coming for Miguel. And he's pretty much going to sign up under Miguel. He's coming all the way to Cabo with his wife. And we're talking a very successful team. It's like he's got, oh my gosh, Miguel, I'm so excited for you and what's going to happen from this. But so tell your people, had Sheila not been going to San Antonio 7 years ago, I don't think I would have gone. She changed my life. The decision she made to go to San Antonio 5 days prior, she says, hey, I'm going. You want to come? I go, no. And I thought about it. I go, when's the next one? A year from now? Well, there's build this summer. Don't say that because this build is not Cabo. Well, there's EXP Con in October. Listen to me. It's once a year. Well, is there something I could attend coming up in 3 months, 6 months? Nope. Nope. This is it. You're
Mhm.
welcome to wait a year. And then smart people are going, I'm not waiting a year. And I was that person and I went to San Antonio. I promise you, if she wasn't going to invite me to somewhere that she wasn't going. Do you think either one of these guys would be going to Cabo if you weren't going to Cabo, Miguel?
Absolutely not.
Miguel, listen
Absolutely.
to me. You're gonna end this year with 100 people in your organization, and I'm gonna
Let's
work my butt
go.
off to make
I'm
sure that happens
ready. I'm
because
ready
you
for it.
deserve it, man.
I'm ready for it.
Come on, man. Come
Let's
on.
go.
We're gonna do it. I'm pumped. Okay, so I wanted a few more people to jump on. We're coming up on 40. I want to get on here. Jeff Crisali. Jeff, go ahead and unmute yourself. And
I did.
Jeff is my special guest today. We're gonna chat for about 10 minutes, and then I prepared some information. I want to wrap up today's 1% club. But Jeff, this is the 1% club. We're all about agent attraction. This is not about sales. We have a sales portion coming up at 5 10 Eastern. But this is how you play the long game. It's how you build a large revenue share organization. Jeff, why don't you tell everybody what you do for EXP, like where you fit into this puzzle?
Yeah, sure. So, first of all, Brent, obviously, thank you. And, everybody, I don't want to start off with a cliche, I'm so happy to be here, but I am really pumped because, I think the message that, that I have, especially when, successful people at EXP are trying to grow their organizations, right? Like, I think I'm a perfect fit, right? So I'm going to take a couple minutes and kind of tell you a little bit about my EXP journey, right? I've only been here about a year and a half. I've had a really great rise on the corporate side. Came in as a managing broker in New Jersey. It was one of the worst jobs I ever had. Like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't effectuate change. I couldn't make a decision. There was 1,000 layers above me. And, the Lauren Colemans of the world were these mythical figures that, you couldn't speak to and, were so out of touch. And it was a nightmare, right? But I did my job. I did it really good. And 6 months later, I got a promotion and I was made the director of operations for Revenos, right? So, Revenos, real quick, the referral engine inside EXP. Last year, in different profit buckets inside of Revenos, we brought in 41,000 referrals to EXP agents. Those translated into about 1.4 to 1.5 billion in top line sales. So when you talk about recruiting, that's one thing we can sell, right? When we talk about agent attraction, sorry, that's certainly a story that we could tell that, hey, I can plug you in to our referral engine, right? Relocation, affinity, institutional investment services, REO when it comes back, bundle select program, which is getting revamped. And I may be throwing things out that you haven't heard, but I am available from this day forward to talk through these things in detail. But when you're looking at attraction, right, agents can take advantage of the Revenos program. So I was made director of operations for Revenos. Um, 3 months later, we had some kind of reorganizing of Revenos. And then I was made the senior director of business development across all of EXP. And simply what that means is two kind of key things that I do. Number one is all of our ancillary business units, aside from realty, so Revenos, Zoocasa up in Canada, Success Lending, and a few of our other realty partners that we have. I'm the liaison between them and EXP. So what EXP was great at over the years was buying companies and then kind of putting them in the corner, not telling anybody, right? It was a secret. So my job is to let, all the major teams and big agents know about the different, four different things that you can do as a team with Success Lending, right? There's a profit model, which is an enterprise net branch model. There's the desk rental model. So there's a number of things, right? So when you're trying to attract bigger teams or bigger agents, there's what I'm just going to refer to as a revenue share component, almost a profit and loss component that they can almost white label their business and their mortgage business and start a mortgage business with zero money out of pocket, right? And we could do that through Success Lending. So again, that's another attractor, right? That you could do trying to bring people on, but it's something that I'm doing with highly productive, active teams and getting them another revenue stream on business that's coming in their door and just going to somebody else, right? So that's another way that I'm kind of connecting the dots. Institutional Investments is a program inside Revenos, which I had I had the day to day in that. And what we're doing there is we're bringing in these national companies like an Invitation Homes, right? One of the largest single family home owner companies in the country. They own 85,000 homes. Every year, they plus or minus about 5 to 7% of their portfolio. So I'm getting our foot in the door to do all their acquisition and disposition as they move on, right? Which then those leads get disseminated to everybody within EXP. But the other really interesting thing I'm doing is that I'm connecting. They have a lot of build to rent communities, right? So they partner with a national builder, let's say Lennar. Lennar is building 500 homes invitation goes in and says, listen, we're going to buy 100 of them and we're going to rent them. They're going to be in their build to rent portfolio. So what I'm doing now is I'm connecting teams to sit in as their rental agents. New agents can sit in there and they can mine for all their other business. So as an attractor, you can say, hey, I could get you into the rental business. You can understand that business. You can integrate with clients. You can talk about scripting, but you can also start marketing all your other services, new clients, whatever the case may be. So that's through institutional investment services, right? And then the other thing I'm doing is I'm kind of being the conduit to teams and agents to what do you want to be when you grow up, right? So if there's I'm working with a team in Cleveland right now that's in attraction mode, growth mode, and success lending model. So what I'm doing is I'm connecting the right growth people, the right marketing team to work specifically with that team to do all the initiatives they want to do in 2025, right? We're doing a net branch model with them. They do a little under 200 million in sales. Well, they're going to monetize the mortgage business that's walking out the door. So, and then they're now talking to teams within their organization in their rev share line that maybe they're doing 60 million and now they can participate in some profit on a mortgage business. So those are that Brett, that is like really high level. I know I spewed a lot. I probably did that in about 6 minutes, Brent, but I
Good.
am
That's what I want to do.
so excited about what I'm doing and the value add that that has been here the whole time, but nobody has got the bullhorn like my big mouth from New Jersey is spewing out to everybody. So,
So
Brent,
Jeff, real quick, we let a
yeah,
few people in while you were talking. Give everyone your new latest title.
right. So I am the Senior Director of Business Development and Strategy. So
Okay.
look on
And
Workplace, throw my last name in there, and you'll find that.
and so I want from you one tip for all these guys. If they were to do something, what do you think is the most underutilized benefit for these guys? Is it connecting revenues? Is it I don't know, I'm just throwing that out there, but what would be the one thing they think? It shocks me that more EXP agents don't do this for the benefit for them to be able to help other agents or attract other agents. Does anything come to mind? I know I didn't prep you with that, but does
Yeah, no,
anything?
that's okay. Brett, I've talked to so many teams that said Revo what? Like they had no idea what Revenos even was, right? So I think the one quick takeaway is that you can plug people into Revenos and geographically, depending upon where you are, almost get immediate business. And I am out pounding the streets trying to bring in
So how do
more
they do that?
referrals.
What's that mean to plug into revenues?
Yeah.
Explain that to them. Like, what would they do? Okay, I want business. I'm in Boston. I'm in San Diego. I'm in Sacramento. I'm in Portland. I'm in Texas. How do I plug into revenues? What do they do?
So there's a Revenos training calendar. You can go on Workplace, put Revenos in, and all of the training calendar will come up. So within Revenos, there's there's four divisions. I think three divisions that you can probably get instant business from. One is relocation. One is affinity. And affinity is all those partners that are sending us leads where the end consumer is getting a benefit, right? So their leads are coming from Rocket, leads are coming from Zillow, leads are coming from those kind of partners. They send us the referral leads, they come in through Revenos, and then they get sent out to agents. So each one of these things has an online Zoom class of courses. One is a 3 hour certification. You sit there for 3 hours, you are now certified in that Revenos business stream and can now start receiving those kind of assignments, whether they be on the acquisition side
So go get
or the
certified,
side.
take some
Right.
classes, go
Certified
to
is the key.
workplace,
Right.
go to workplace,
Revenos,
type in
Revenos
revenues,
training calendar, you'll see everything that's available.
go get certified stuff. I have a friend of mine named Tony in Florida. He got 200 listings from Revenos this last year. 200. So you might want to go to workplace, type in the word Revenos, and go take one of their classes. And
Yeah,
we're doing $1 billion in closings. There's a lot of business out there
crazy.
for
It's
everyone.
crazy. And Brent, the other thing I would say is Success Lending, our mortgage partner, did a terrible job the first 16 months that the partnership started. I will die on the sword for that. But what I can tell you today is that it's a new life in success lending with the different ways that they can partner with teams and agents and be used as an attraction tool. There are infinite possibilities with partnering up with success lending because at right now they've got the one of the best programs out there for financing, DSCR loans, which are the rehab loans out there, very competitive in every single market. And the thing that you can think about is that if we did a net branch model, and all that is your own P&L, right? You can even white label it to be, Gove Mortgage, right? We have the ability to do that. And you don't have to be licensed. But what you do though is we control rates that go out to the market, right? So now if you're in a tight market in a certain zip code and you've got other mortgage companies that are fighting for that business, well, because you are tied to the P&L, you can say, we got to go 20 basis points lower on this loan. And you can control that with this model. Like that's kind of unheard of. Normally
Okay,
you
this
throw
is
it out there to
funny.
your favorite mortgage person and hope for the best.
So let's convert that. Like, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what you just said, and I'm pretty active in the world of real estate. Like, what the hell does 20 basis points mean? I don't know. I'm the slightest idea what you just said. And so that's where we talk lingo. So most people
Right.
do. I don't. I'm just going to admit it. So what does that mean? The rate's 6.9 and we got to be more competitive. Does that mean I dropped to 6.7? Is that what that means?
Conceptually, Brent, yes, you have the ability to control the end rate to that buyer. Now, of course, you can't
So,
control it.
okay, I want them to get 4.9. Can I go
Well,
6.9
no,
to
I was just going to say that you
what is
can't drop
20
because
basis points? That is my question. I don't know what
right,
that
yeah. So
means.
20 basis points is 1 basis point figure is 100 parts. So 20 basis points is a fraction of 1%. That's how you think about
So
it. It's 20%
20%.
of 1%.
So if the rate is 7, I can drop it to 6.8.
Exactly.
If it's 6.5, I can go to 6.3. That's 20
Yes.
basis points. So
Now,
I kind of
now,
figured it out. Dumb luck.
yeah. Now again, there's a cost, right, that we have the way that mortgages are originated, what we pay for our money. So you can't go from 6 to 4, Brent, like you had said before, but everybody kind of
Um,
borrows money. Think about it from this big giant pool, right? There's 5 mortgage companies fighting for that business. They're all in that same pool. Well, we're gonna all borrow the money at the same, and the devil is in those details, right? What is the processor going to cost? What is the origination cost going to cost? What are all those finite things? And that's where the savings come in. So if everybody borrows the money at 8%, and then, the bottom consumer is 5%, whatever number you want to use, all those add-ons really make the loan 6%. Well, you can now be a little bit below that, right? So you have the ability to be the most competitive mortgage solution in your market.
I love it. All right, man. You are awesome. Thank you, Jeff. If you guys have a question about Revenos or about success lending or that he's the guy for all things EXP, reach out to him on Workplace, Jeff Crisali. Jeff, you're amazing. Thanks for coming on today, man. You're welcome to hang out for the last
I do want to hang out.
12
I'm
minutes
going to
left.
just listen and learn. Thank you, everybody. Brent, thank you so much. And I'm going to be here in the background, just listening and learning from you, from this group.
Awesome. I
Thank
love
you.
it. Thank you. Okay, David Gerwels. He didn't know I was going to do this. Yep, you heard your name, David. Unmute yourself. He's like, what the heck? Why is he calling my name? You imagine me calling your name? You have no idea. So, David, I found out today, and correct me if I'm wrong, from Shelly, my neighbor. She told me that you have a gal who sold 40 luxury homes this year in real estate in your market. I think it was her first or second year in real estate. And she did 40 like $1 million homes or something. Is that, do I have the right person?
Yeah, Lydia Capps, based out of Knoxville, Tennessee. She is a student at the
Oh,
University.
it's Tennessee. Don't tell us how old she is or how young she is, but tell us how long has she been in real estate and how many homes did she sell this year?
She's at 40 transactions. Yeah, right.
Is it her first year in the business, second year, third
I
year?
think she's in her second year now.
Second year now. She did 40. She came from Sotheby's, is a chump brand, and she went to a better luxury brand, EXP luxury, baby. She does 40 sales. You think, what's so special about that? David, how old is, what's her first name again?
Lydia Caps.
I know it's not nice to talk about a woman's age or weight. We're going to tell you how much she weighs, and we're going to tell you her weight. Okay, we're not doing the weight,
Right.
but she looks very fit to me. But that was just being silly. How old is she?
21.
21 years old and did 40. And she didn't do like starter homes, from what I understand. She does the higher end market, right?
Right. Yes. That's what she specializes in luxury. Correct.
Is that awesome? That is awesome. Do not let some 21-year-old whippersnapper give me one of these. You know, if I was you, I would get on an airplane and fly to Tennessee and meet her because she's doing something right. I hope that just irritates the living. Like when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, who, what, where? Let's go. I mean, that stuff should motivate you. You don't get owned by a 21-year-old punk kid. That means she probably just turned 21. She did that as she was 20, 41 high-end luxury sales in Tennessee. She did it. You can do it. I love that, David. Congratulations.
You want me to add one more on there?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we got time. Yeah, go ahead.
She's been with the company for 6 weeks and has already lined up 6 third-party validation calls for us.
That is awesome. So she's
Yeah.
already put
She's
you in front
already
of 6 people.
100% into agent attraction. Loves it.
Yeah. I heard
Drinks
from
from the
Shelly, she's
fountain.
got like 10 people lined up ready to come to
Yep.
EXP and 41 homes. Success leaves cool. She's got momentum. And once you get it, it's hard to get. It's hard to get. But when you get it, everything you touch starts turning to gold. And we're there. I feel it in the air. I'm talking to all the leaders. There's that, you could feel it. You could taste it. You know, I think we're 6 to 12 months away from this wave coming. And man, you better be paddling now. And Cabo's the way to do that. So thank you, David. Great job on sharing that. I wanted to tell a story today and brag a little, but I'm going to save it on point number 2. So I'm going to do kind of my own version of a famous guy I heard 40 years ago. His name is Skip Ross. Only one person here I think knows Skip Ross, and that would be Clark. Yep. Anybody else know Skip Ross? Anybody? I'm looking at all the boxes. Skip Ross is amazing. I've heard his cassette tape series 100 times. He had a cassette tape series called Dynamic Living. So I did my own version of it. It'll be 1/10 of good as what he did 40 years ago. But he had a series called Dynamic Living, different principles to live a dynamic, successful, powerful, amazing, exciting life. And so I'm going to go. Number 1, I got a few of my points. We're going to go fast. Number 1, because this is how you age and attract. Love. For me, if you want to live a dynamic life, the first thing on your menu of attributes that you need to have is a love. You know, how do we treat the guy working at the gate, the gal working at the cash register, the maid in the hallway? Do you go up and give her $20 and say, thanks for letting me stay here at the Holiday Inn or the Hilton or the Hyatt or the Super 8 or the Marriott? You know, are you tipping people you don't even need to tip? Are you loving people? And so, you know, are you loving God, your family, your friends, your clients, others? How about this, strangers? When's the last time you actually went to really, have you ever felt loved and genuinely cared for by a stranger who went out of their way to help you? It's pretty attractive quality. So my advice to you to live a dynamic life, your superpower needs to be love. Number 2, be generous. Be generous. What does that mean? With your words, with your money, and with your time. With your words, with your money, and your time. So Shelly tells me this story today. I was so proud of her. She goes, Brent, I did a Brent. I'm like, what's a Brent? She goes, one of my employees came to me and I've been teaching her about negotiating, right? How to negotiate. And they came up to me and they wanted a pay raise. I'm like, oh, really? I go, yeah. And I go, so what'd you do? She goes, I told them no. I turned them down just like you taught me. I said, really? Yeah, they asked for X. I'm like, oh, what'd you counter with? She goes, I countered with more. I told them that wasn't enough. I said, I don't accept that. That is an unacceptable amount of money. I'm going to pay you more than you're asking. Be generous when you can. Now, some of you aren't in a position financially. Well, that's great for Shelly. You know, she has thousands of agents. So the reason she has thousands of agents is because she's generous. Listen to me, if you don't give when you have a little, you'll never give when you have a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, and then here's the cool. Some of you don't have 2 quarters to rub together. been there. I was like super successful team leader, running the most profitable Keller Williams. I was out of money trying to go bankrupt. They took my home when I was running the most profitable Keller Williams in the world. I lost my home to Dean Reeker of Keller Williams Folsom. Called it, says, "Hey Brent, 2008, we got your home. I know you were short sailing it, but they dual tracked you, and the REO people beat the short sale people to the finish line. Shocker, short sale took forever. And I lost my home, and I got kicked out of my own house by a fellow Keller Williams agent. And I'm like the big successful guy. So trust me, I know what it's like not to have two nickels to rub together. But I'll tell you this, we still gave. That next year we had no money, and we scrimped together, I think, $500 and gave it to 6 families. We gave away $3,000. And the Gove family, my family, in 2009, we spent Christmas at the 99-cent store. We gave each of our 5 children a $20 bill. They each bought 20 presents, enough to buy 4 or 5 presents for each of the other family members. And we spent, like, Brian Moses knew me. In 2005, I sold 400 homes in 1 year. If you'd have told me in 2009, you're going to spend Christmas at the 99-cent store, you're going to buy a tree from the hardware store for $19, and it looked like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree, and your kids and your family will each have $20. Kathy had 20, I had 20, the 5 kids. We did Christmas for $140. Now, yeah, I scrimped together 3,000 somehow, some way, but we gave it to families who bawled in my arms. Like, they're buying groceries and a few presents for their 1 or 2 or 3 kids they had. They cried, grown men and women. It was the most rewarding Christmas I've ever had in my life. So, man, I'm telling you what, guys, is my favorite Christmas, the 99-cent store Christmas, man. It was awesome. So, sorry, compose myself. So when your plumber asks for $280 to do the job, turn them down, Miguel, and say, "Nope, but you can do it for $350." When your painter says it's $3,500 for that expansion job, go, "No, no, no." Then he comes back, "Okay, 32. No, that's not going to work. Okay, 2,900. I cannot do it for less than 2,900. No, no, no. 3,900." They're going to go, "What? What?" So when you can, be generous. Now, sometimes you can't be generous because you need someone to be generous to you right now. And I tell you what, you can be generous with your words. I look back on my life, I could think of maybe 5 times. Everyone says, "Hey, you're awesome. Good job. Love you. You're great." We get that. But 5 times in my life, I could look back, or less. And when people really looked into my soul and they spoke to me and they called out something in my life, my Astros coach when I was 10, the YMCA volunteer when we went with Blizzard Ski School to Utah to go snow skiing, and we traveled for 18 hours on a school bus to ski for 5 days for like $189
Yeah.
because it was the YMCA. And that volunteer woman said some stuff to me. She was super old, like 24 or something. You know, when you're 15 on a bus for 18 hours, 24 is like a dinosaur. But she said some things to me specifically that just kind of made a deposit in me, like, man, maybe I am special. Maybe, you know. And then my Astros coach and my high school soccer coach, Gary Summerhays, incredible, just called me out, looked into me. That's a handful of times. And besides your parents or whatever, and maybe you didn't get that from your parents, that's like 3 times. Let me tell you what, your words have the power of life and death. If you'll just slow down and look someone in the eyes, and what is it? Don't make it up. What do you see in them? Do they have a gift of music? Do they have a gift of like, you're so brilliant that your mind, you're the most strategic person I've ever met in my life. I think God has a call in your life. I think he's like, you are far more strategic than I am. Or whatever you could say, your smile every time I see you. And when you really kind of look for something, that's way more valuable than money. Way more valuable than money. So number 2, be generous with your words, your money, and your time. I've had a coffee and a piece of toast at a airport in Chicago or Dallas. I don't remember where I was. And I think I tipped $100. cash on the table. And that waitress, I just left it and walked out the door. She chased me down in, Terminal B and tackled me and thanked me and cried in my arms and said, I'm buying my kids groceries with this. You don't know what you did. And it was nothing for me to leave her $100. She was just sweet and amazing. Now I realize not all of you can do that. It's great, Brent, flash your money. I wasn't flashing my money. I'm obedient to that voice that says, do this. I don't always do that. But, as a Christian, I call that voice the Holy Spirit. If you're not a Christian, you probably call it intuition. Fine. Listen to the voice that says, you need to go help her, help him, help them. Do it. It's so rewarding when you do those things. So number 3, to live in a dynamic life is this: be courageous. You want to live a dynamic life? Be courageous. Stand up for your family. Be courageous in your dreams. Be courageous when it comes to justice. I love this quote. All it takes for evil to prevail in this world is for good men and good women to do nothing. Don't stand by and look the other way. Who's going to do something? Step up and do it. It might cost you something, but stand up. Martin Luther King stood up for social injustice. And he had it cost him something. But the world loves that man. They love that man. He had a dream, and he moved the world with his dream because he was courageous. In number 4, we're going to end with this: answer the call. I believe there's a call on your life, Jim Fury, Wendy Goss, David Lawson from Park City, Utah, Skip Tolley. Every one of you, Carolyn, Sarah, Brian, there's a call on your life, but you got to pick up the phone. Somebody, oh, not me. Brent Gove, sure. Wendy, she drives Harleys and Jeeps. She's charismatic. Liz Brown, she's got that TikTok channel thing, and she does Instagram back shuffle. But not me. Listen to me. You. But you got to answer the call. What's the call? The call is to be love. The call is to be kind. The call is to go the extra mile for a stranger. The call is to be light in a dark world, to enter the room and to lift the room, to be positive when everybody else is negative, to run into the fire when everybody else is running out of the fire. There's a call. I really believe this with all my fiber, all my being. So I have 16 points to live in a dynamic life. I did 4 of them. Was that good? I was good. I'll give you the other 12 if you come to Cabo. If you come to Cabo, I will give you the other 12. And you don't give up. I was invited to my Cabo, which was San Antonio. It wasn't as sexy. And the Riverwalk has water, but it's also polluted with some trash, but it was no palm trees. But it changed my life. Do not give up. We'll find a hotel. There's no more rooms at the Hyatt Ziva, but there's rooms at the Hyatt Place. So what? Stay at the Hyatt Place. There's been many times I wasn't able to stay at the headquarter hotel. I stayed at one down the street. So what? So what? Now what? Make it happen. Get a wristband, show up, do the thing. But guess what? A room will probably open up and you can switch to the Hyatt Ziva. You get a troll workplace, they come up. People lose their passport. By the way, did y'all check your passports? Go check the expiration date. Oh, yeah, it expires a week after Mexico, Cabo. They won't let you go. It has to expire at least like 2 or 3 weeks after in case you get stuck in Mexico. They will not put you on the plane. But it expires a week after I get back. They will not put you on the plane. They will not let you go. Don't only check your passport, check the expiration. It needs to be April. It needs to be April or later. Okay, little pro tip there. All right, you guys, I hope this was good. Brian, would you call me on my cell phone, Mr. Moses, real quick? And then we're on in 6 minutes for Mastering Sales with Brent Gove. Carolyn, quit crying. You're making me all emotional. You kept wiping your tears. You're in trouble. So, all right. Love you all. Mwah. Those who can stick around for Mastering Sales, we'll see you in 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 30 seconds. We'll see you. Have a good day. Bye, guys.